this is one of the first black labels that had a succession of multi-platinum soundtracks. You know, when I think about the figures that LA and Babyface did, bruv, that is like hundreds of million in gross earning for the industry. Hundreds of million. I can't quantify it. Probably by the time by the time this decade is over, they've probably generated billions for the industry.
You know what, guys? I'm just making sure I got my notes down and I'm copying down my notes and whatever, because this is important, because I think that we need to recognize the fact that basically, again, the foundation is right for their success. Yeah, and nothing comes before your time, and sometimes these guys have to spend a decade incubating.
Sure. Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Hey, yo. What am I doing yo for to start this up? Anyway, this is how we do. And Affinity Xtra, we're here to celebrate gospel.
Just do it.
Listen, we're gonna go in, guys. You know, we did we've been under pressure, myself and Kevin, in terms of deadlines and our creativities. Why you haven't heard our chemistry for a bit still. We did touch on LA Reid and Babyface to start off things with, and I was talking to a friend of mine, Ray Prince, and I said, you know, LA Reid play drums, and he goes, is it? He goes, yeah, play a little bit of drums, you know. And he thought, and you open up this whole thing, bro, of black power brokers, yeah, and it sounds wrong. But why can't we have a Cowell, Simon Cowell? Why can't we have guys who but the thing is, we have to realize that they were integral of putting things into place. For example, we done a review about an event, guys. Yeah, an event where it's called Summer of Soul. Yeah, if you look back, and the power broker for that event was that radio presenter. You know, the one that Petition Boy, you know, Petition people love. But the Petition Boy, he set up this event and he used all his contacts in the government. He used his influence to pull that thing together. You needed him to put that platform together. Even if we don't see him about the place after years afterwards, but he was a radio presenter who saw the vision to put in a big event. It could be to stroke his ego, but you needed people like this to put on shows, to launch great creatives, yeah, to showcase greater creatives, and for him to maybe not even see the light of day for 50 years, to now for us to look back at that piece and to empower black people 50 years on. That's the impact for black power brokers. This is where they're all over the place making amazing things, but we haven't focused on them. We haven't lifted them up, and this is what we're trying to do in this show: is to understand what makes success for the black music industry. What success in the music industry? Because we're behaving like we just need to be great singers. You know what I'm saying? But we need to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way it goes, man. So this is how it is. Okay, there's some music in the background. Is that you, Kevin?
Well, the music, I'm gonna turn it off. So just let me go. I'm playing some Gerald Levert. I was chilling out with Gerald Levert. So the late Gerald Levert. Let me just stop for a minute. I'll be back in a second, bro.
Listen, man.
In a second.
Man, guys, people are vibing. Is that, you know, there's nothing else that we do but to do these things. This is a live interview, guys, and Kevin's, you know, doing his best. He's just showing he listens to some classic music right there. But either way, guys, you know, we're here to set the foundation and put something out there for you guys to actually realize what makes industry and understand that people have a major part to play in this industry. Now, we looked at LA Reid and we looked at Babyface, and the first initial thing we need to do 3 parts. So this is gonna be a recording that we're going to put out there as the second part of the recording, and we just thought we'll get the foundation on to the LA Reid and Babyface story. All I know is Babyface, this cute Babyface guy who is a great singer, can play guitar good, and that's all I knew. Did a few hits and that's it. Now I'm finding out that the guy, just to get there, had to work hard, had to be underneath major producers, not for 2 weeks, for 3-4 years, for a good couple of years, and to build it himself. And you need to ask yourself, are you prepared to work for 2, 3, 4 years under anyone in the UK gospel industry? And I would say very few people have ever done that. And you know, the joke is, the only person I've seen do this, you know, bro, in the gospel music industry from the UK that I've seen, yeah, I'm not saying nobody else. I know I talked to eBay talks about how he worked with certain people, but as from an artist perspective, I remember seeing this artist called SO, and he worked for a good couple of years with Jahazel, and he developed himself, and now he's definitely probably the top selling UK act. He's based in America now, a rap. And sometimes that ability to spend 5 years just developing your craft, eating up information, going to Bible school, getting that foundation in, enables you to deliver content every year out there, and all of a sudden you have enough content there to survive on, to get content to move forward on, and have the knowledge. So before Roger carries on, guys, you know Roger's gonna be always going on. I've got to now hand it over to I would say we got a musical geek on our station, which is called Music Geek, and Sophie Smith, but we definitely have a geek here in Kevin Tomlin. So he's gonna geek out on us all about now the next stage for LA Reid and Babyface. So I don't know what he's got focal point for this particular segment is. We're going to be about maximum half an hour. I'm going to be really strict with this one, and then we're going to go into part 3 afterwards and really go in. So Kevin, talk to me, man, because Kevin was going to tell me all about it before the show. So bro, what was it getting excited about? Yeah, I remember this is the second part of a 3-part series. So just take time on this, man, bro. So guys, if you see me looking at the screen, I'm looking as he's going through. I'm making my notes as well and measuring things up, man. So go for it, brother.
Just Babyface won 11 Grammy Awards. I repeat, 11 Grammy Awards in his career. He's produced over 26 R&B number 1 singles, brother. 26 number 1s. Okay? And several of those 26 number 1s were gold and platinum singles, bruv. Not to mention the number 1 R&B and pop albums that he produced that are multi-platinum. He's let's go back to the beginning of his production. Yeah, he started as a production team with LA Reid in 1987 while they were contracted to Solar Records, the black hole label by Mr. Griffin. Yes, they were contracted. That's where they started their career. And Mr. Griffin allowed them to actually work in the studio for several years to develop their craft with his sound engineer. So the sound engineer taught them about the magic that goes on in the studio production, sound levels, expansion, etc.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Learn your craft.
Mentorship. That's what he learned working at a black label. And their first number 1 hit was Rock Steady by The Whispers. That was a platinum certified album. You get me? That was their first project. And then the rest is history. Okay. That started in 1987. And as I said, Babyface produced over 26 number 1 R&B soul singles. It's actually more than that now, because if we include the pop ones and include the number 1 albums that he's worked on, actually both him and LA Reid were the first artists to break the record that the late Elvis Presley held for over 30 odd years. They broke it. Would you believe it? They broke that record.
Elvis Presley. He's broke them man and beat.
Yes. The first music production and songwriting team seemed to have the longest running Hot 105 singles was Babyface and LA Reid with listen to this, End of the Road by Boyz II Men, 14 weeks, brother. 14 weeks.
Oh my days! That was
End of the road.
Babyface wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah.
Remember
But listen,
that?
bro.
1992.
I bought the cassette tape for that. What is it? 1992.
Yeah.
I was at college. Yeah. But that's on the Motown. Okay, listen, guys.
Yeah,
I was at college.
Boyz II Men were contracted to Motown Records when after it was sold to MCA Records. Became an MCA.
So he was a part of the okay, cool. So guys, like, just want to let you know, I was at college then, and and I remember I bought the tape, man. I bought the tape single. I don't know if my brother got the CD single, but I got the tape single, and it was that was at the time when Whitney Houston brought out her and I always only and I felt like I felt like
I'm Your Baby Tonight. Was the I'm Your Baby Tonight was the first number one 100 Billboard 100 number one single that LA and Babyface had when it hit the pop market. I'm Your Baby Tonight, which was a multi-platinum album by the late Whitney Houston. And actually by then, which was 1990, by then LA and Babyface had 15 number ones already, they produced 15, bruv.
15.
So they 15 already number ones. So at one point, them and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were the two number one black music production team in the business globally. I repeat, the two major black production teams in the business. These brothers were smashing hits like go to remember Don't Be Cruel by Bobby Brown, which sold 6 million copies, was also produced by LA and Babyface.
So these artists were so these guys were going to Babyface.
These guys were knocking hits after hits. I mean, it was crazy. If you look at the numbers, it was nuts.
So these are the guys that were really making the money.
Because first of all, this was before they had LaFace Records, before they set up LaFace.
Okay,
Records,
cool.
Tony Braxton and Usher came out of, and
damn.
TLC. Look, bro. If you talk about that, that's another subject altogether, because the production from that label was at a level. Matter of fact, LaFace Records was at one time the biggest selling record label, second black owned record label in the business, one of the biggest independent labels in the business. So
who is so just to give people context,
I'm just giving you a summary. I'm just giving you a summary because I can't go in detail. No. All day.
No. That's superb, and I think people need to recognize this still. Is this still is not in this current environment, this environment where we're almost accepting blackness and accepting black music and whatsoever. This was still coming in an environment where black music was still not getting. Black people had to stand up and go hard for it. This was not this is easy, these guys made it. And I think too often we see the successes of sportsmen, of artists in the 50s and the 60s and 70s and said, look, they make it so everybody else can make it. No, these guys are the fortunate hard workers that kept on going, went through racism, went through the hard work that everybody has to go through, because Elvis Presley had to do hard work, get himself there. But the reality show is black people, whether you're whether it's music, whether it's sport, whether it's even church or whatever you did jobs in your normal life, you have to work harder. As my dad said, as much as my dad loves people, my dad loves people, he got no beef with no white person. Listen, my dad's cool like that, but he always said to me, son, as a black man, you have to work 3 times harder, full stop. Yeah. Now the question that we're asking today is, why do we have to work 3 times harder? That's the question. Yeah, that we never asked before, because now we go, hold a second, this is not right. The system is not right for us to do it. Now these guys became the greatest.
I can answer that. I can answer that because number one, the best-selling music of the day is hip hop, and so. It is interesting to know that it doesn't want to go public that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes public that is the case, a lot of people will stop looking at to be whitey.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to do that. Because if you follow, I was looking at the fashion of the youngsters, both white and black, and they wear slippers and they wear their socks and their sandals. That thing used to be hip in America during the 90s amongst the black population.
Okay,
that's nothing new. That kind of fashion concept. You see, the opportunity for me is actually, I lived in the States for 17 years. So I actually see, remember, I was there when hip hop exploded. So I'm cool. Yeah. I am not actually trying to do a thing.
Yeah.
I know it because I lived
You saw it. Yeah.
I watched the Babyface. I watched the Tupacs. I watched the Bigs. I heard them, I saw them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
not
right. So, like, for instance, look at this. Babyface was win 3 Grammy Awards as producer of the year in succession, 95, 96, 97, in succession, producer of the year.
Jeez.
Against heavy competition. That's how serious this guy is.
Yeah.
You got to understand this.
Yeah.
Some producers, black and white, they only nominated, actually the first person to have producer of the year award for a Grammy was Tom Bell, the Jamaican born Tom Bell.
Okay.
In 1974. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, bro, listen, I could tell you some things. You talk about revolutionary and change. Look. You think about it, by the time they produced Whitney Houston's second solo album, these guys had 50 number ones to their credit already.
Okay.
Think about the amount of gross earnings from that. So that simply means before they reached to Whitney Houston, they probably might have done 200 to 300 million in album and singles gross earnings for the industry.
Jesus.
This is sick, bro. This is sicko.
Come on, people. Guys, we need to love it.
We need to get.
We need to understand the levels that are going on, and something that's been expanding into what I've learned so much from Kevin, guys, and I want to reiterate this. Yeah, music is not just about the on stage, and the moment as our community realizes that the music industry is a way wider industry that entwines into commerciality. Entertainment is so massive that we don't realize we can play parts which you can be successful in. It's just that we just look at, well, if you're not going to be Kurt Franklin, you won't be successful. No, there's successful people that are earning good money, you know what I'm saying, who are not just surviving, that are doing well, who are not Kirk, who are not these musicians that tour, that stay in a city and happily work in the entertainment world. You know what I mean? And it's just like, we just need to understand that you can produce commercials, you can produce just write songs. There's so much you could do. You got to understand the industry and know your lane. Yeah, and I think
know your lane.
And the thing is now, bro, I remember my interview with Missy Elliott. I know we kind of flick on to something. Missy Elliott, before she became obviously the artist that everybody knows. I love the vibe, man. Missy Elliott. It was like, yo,
I love the baby. She's just nice.
She's just the cool, and she said that
cool lady.
When she hit the industry as a songwriter, yeah,
that's right.
Because she said that she could, as an image wise, she's a big black girl. Yeah, and she said that I couldn't give up the cupcakes, so I wrote because I knew I wouldn't be palatable for the execs and the world. So I've honed my craft to writing till the time came, and I just jumped on it, and then I can jump off it and carry on with my writing. Now the joke is, ask yourself, do people sit down and ask themselves for that question in the UK gospel scene? Because I tell you, there's some people that need to stick to writing. There's some people that just need to focus on singing and get somebody to write. Yeah, and if we knew a lane and not be so proud for, yeah, we might move together further. That's just me putting it out there. Sorry, Kevin. I digress, man. Sorry.
Well, okay. Let us look.
Let's
this.
go back
let
to
us,
yeah.
Let us jump onto the. Let us jump into the 1990s a little bit more now. In '92, they had the Babyface and LA Reid did "End of the Road" for Boyz II Men. By '97, by the early 90s, they had actually no longer worked together as production team. Well, you know, something I can't remember exactly when but both of them went into the correct lane, so to speak. Right. Babyface repeated it again with Boyz II Men. "I Make Love to You." 14 weeks at number 1 and Hot 100.
I remember that track.
And by the way, that particular album sold 10 million copies in the US.
Jesus.
Hello, 10 million copies.
That's not bad, bro.
Long before Adele came on the scene and started selling big albums.
That's not bad, bro.
No, not bad. This is the second. This is Boyz II Men's second or third. So you know what I'm saying, right? And it was number 1 for 14 weeks, weekend in the 27th of August, 1994. Oh, on top of that, in 92, let's regress a bit. In 92, when they did Boomerang, featuring
a movie,
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, Boomerang. The Boomerang album was a multi-platinum selling, and it was produced on the LaFace record label. That was the first soundtrack that featured Tony Braxton. You know,
okay. Yeah.
That was their introduction to launch the solo career of Lady Braxton.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Then the next one, boom, 1995. Waiting to Excel. You remember that track? You know, Waiting to Excel.
Yeah. That was a big tune. That was a big.
Yes. Yes.
Sneaky.
That would produce the number 1 single with the late Whitney Houston, and so that album on LaFace record sold 6 million copies in the US alone. I said 6 to 7 million copies.
Wow.
That's a soundtrack.
And you know what, bro? That's still getting streamed today, bro. That's still getting streamed. Yeah. So even if you bought the record, you know what's deep? Sorry, Kevin. You know what's deep, yeah? People bought records back in the day, like myself, yeah? We bought records, yeah? And that's it, yeah? It's somewhere in our loft, yeah? But now, as much as earnings are very small, because we're too lazy to get the CD out, we're streaming the same tune that was out there, so they're still getting royalties now to this day. But
ching. Look, and then top of that, on the same label, LaFace Records, they did another soundtrack called Soul Food.
Oh, yeah, Soul Food. Yeah. That's a cool movie. That's a cool movie. Yeah.
It was and the Soul Food was number 2 on the box office, you know. It sold over 60 million, gross earnings, 60 million. Both of them, they sold over in the 50 to 60 million. So in actual fact, during the 90s in particular, oh, my son is calling me. Let me just...
Yeah, man. Sorry, guys, live interview. This is how we do it, people. I'm just going to be authentic, guys. We're going to keep this in there. Don't worry.
Doing a live interview on the internet. So let me call you back, okay?
I'm keeping this thing, guys. I'm not going to delete this out. This is authentic, people.
Yeah, that's no problem. Tell him, just let me know when I'm coming, yeah? No problem. Cool. Yeah, bye.
Something about children. Even when you tell them you're busy, they still get the point. They still tell you what they're gonna tell you.
Welcome to the children world.
Oh boy!
Anybody's fathers out there? Are you a father? Do you know what that's like?
I know. It's just crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, but carry on, bro. Carry. Let's go.
Yes. So this is interesting. That means this is one of the first black labels that had a succession of multi-platinum soundtracks. You know, when I think about the figures that LA and Babyface did, bruv, that is like hundreds of millions hundreds of million in gross earnings for the industry, hundreds of million. I can't quantify it. Probably by the time by the time this decade is over, they've probably generated billions for the industry.
Wow, bro. This is just you know what, guys, I'm just making sure I got my notes down and I'm copying down my notes and whatever, because this is important, because I think that we need to recognize the fact that basically again, the foundation is right for their success. Yeah, and nothing comes before your time, and sometimes these guys have to spend a decade incubating. You know what I'm saying? Because it took for a little teacher back at church to develop them. It took for something to happen, musicians and all these little crafts, these struggles, and we probably don't even know the story before the story. You know what I'm saying? So we look at the story as they go into the studio and learn the craft, but they learn their musicianship. And something that me and Kevin's been doing is talking to UK musicians and who have and the conversation that we see a lot of the time is from they started their open ministry where people could see, but it's not until you find out who bought their first instrument, who sacrificed themselves for you. These are the elements which put you in tears. The gritty determination to start off with one instrument and then they excel at another instrument. It is absolutely crazy. Some people want to play drums but end up being one of the most amazing guitarists out there ever. So it's so for me, guys, these stories that we putting together, information together, is almost the latter part of an amazing start. You know what I'm saying? So the foundation, don't despite the process, because this is where we get to, man. Don't turn away from the Germans, man. Keep on digging. You know what I'm saying, bro? Keep on digging. Carry on about the number one hits, bro, because carry on, bro.
Yes. So when we look at the... first of all, this is interesting with Babyface. When they produced Tony Braxton's, say, for instance, Secret album, came out in 96. The Secret album sold 10 million copies in the States alone. Now, this is 96. This is the 1990s.
I remember 96.
Look.
I was 20.
Not only that. If we go back a bit, Babyface did an album with Madonna called Bedtime Stories. That's right. And produced and co-wrote the number one track for her called Take a Bow. Right. And the album sold about 3 million copies. So it's triple certified platinum. Triple certified album.
That's what I'm talking about.
You just need to understand the impact of Babyface. Babyface even working with Barbra Streisand. Hello. He worked with Barbra Streisand, right? Producing a number one album for her, co-produced, which was number one on the 200 album charts.
Jeez, bro.
So this is just to show you how serious this brother is.
Well, it's more than serious.
And I'm just giving you a summary of the brother. I'm just giving you a summary. He's produced several platinum albums of himself. So himself.
We forget that part. That from the beginning, man. When he ever does a song, he does an amazing song, and I think that but bro, you draw down to Tony Braxton, and you have to realize that she produced tracks that were big over here in the UK charts, which was very, very hard for you guys. You have to realize that the charts were as much as we were accepted as black people. I say it blatantly because I was on the ground and I knew we weren't really accepted. But then I started seeing our soul music, our rap music, and then young white kids starting to enjoy our music. And then all of a sudden, when the single market and the singles came out, people started buying Boyz II Men over their own music styles, because these are all about rock and roll and Beatles and pop and this and that and ABBA and all these guys. And all of a sudden, these funky brothers started coming over and they were getting number one hits. And then the MTV at the time When I was 13, had 1 hour. 1 hour, you know, bro, for black music, and that was with Lisa, hosted by Lisa Hansen. Lisa Hansen was 1 hour on and everybody looked forward for that, especially the guys then. And then all of a sudden we gone for 1 hour. We had 1 hour of Yo Raps for anybody who wants to stay up at night, and then we go for 1 hour when I was 13. And you're talking about when I was 13, you're talking about late 80s, and then by the time the mid 90s came, that we were staring at channels of music. You had like channel called The Box. All they did is literally become a black, you know, all the videos from Busta Rhymes, from Breathe Again. All these guys had had platforms, and this is what happens when you start to have platforms. You have places to move outside the norm, and this is where major media has to respect the art form. So we go back to this. What do we learn from his success, bro? What we learned from his success? How did all this quality black music started to flood into the UK market? It was successful in America, but they needed an outlet, and the outlets were not fancy but cool platforms where the videos were being showcased, and we could see videos of Breathe Again, of Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson, of, you know me, iconic videos that they were doing out there. And then all of a sudden, white and black, no matter who you are, was watching music that of quality, and going, I want that, instead of having the official media just giving them rock and roll, ABBA, European music. Now they started seeing, okay, right, this is much wider, and we started seeing a much easier way of seeing them sort of platforms of music. So things like The Box, you know, anybody who anyone who knows The Box, channel, that was important for the growth of black music in the UK, because that was a video music platform which forced MTV to create something called MTV Base. You know what I mean? Because they had to have a platform focused around black people, because you had Trevor Nelson and the Lick Party. All these things were there because there was the demand. And the reality show is, guys, we need to stick to who we are, deliver our sound at the excellent quality, and when the execs see the demand, they'll invest.
It's very simple. Where do you see all it takes is just one major white corporate entity to start to see the money and start to throwing it. They're all copycats, you know. They don't Sony Records and MGB, all the major labels and so forth do not like to see themselves left and not get into the act. It's the way our business works, you know. So if you notice with Universal Record has so many black labels and the imprints are in their catalog. It's unbelievable. And matter of fact, they make money off it continuously, globally.
Come on now.
Remember we were talking about Bob Marley? I mean, I've read some recent stuff about him in particular, and it blows my mind. This brother, his musical empire is breaking new ground, and
still to this day,
continually.
Still to this day, guys, do things right. Do things with the utmost quality. Keep to your path. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And keep going. And guys, I'm telling myself, because, bro, I don't think I've even got started yet, bro. And even much as people can say, yo, why did you do this? I'm just getting started. And I give God the glory, because I'm just coming into a season where, you know, it's almost a case of the hard work starts to manifest, you know, and
that's right.
And it is hard work, man. You know what I mean? But in the end of the day, still, yeah, guys, all this does is encourage me. All this does is actually gears me a certain way. All I go is wow when I hear some of the stories. And guys, history is important. We've said why black music. We've done a video about black music why is it important to know our black music. Yeah, Kev, I have to say this again before we get into part 3, because we're gonna close off on this one. I'm gonna go into part 3, yeah. But you know, it's guys, I'm a church boy. I wasn't that guy that knows everything about the James Browns. I weren't interested. I know my church music, Andre Crouch, all these top gospel artists, Fred Hammonds and the Kirks. I grew up on that. I get it. I have no interest in terms of what makes black secular music work. But the reality show is when it comes to now trying to develop the UK black music scene, there's no other better model, because they had the same struggle that we have within terms of racism, in terms of of fixed perceptions of our sound. At the time, black people actually trying to look like a white person to be acceptable. You know, we've got so many like very light-skinned people, like, I wouldn't say like myself, but even lighter than myself. There's a singer from Wales, what's her name? Amazing singer, she got an amazing voice. Oh, goodness sake. She's from South Wales, bro. UK singer. I can't believe it.
Reid her name? Connery Reid?
No. She's a daughter of a
mixed
American,
race?
Mixed race, yeah. She's daughter of a American soldier who came over World War II.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe. I'm gonna try and remember her name.
Shirley Bassey?
Shirley Bassey.
I do love that woman. That is one of my favorite. Diamonds are forever, bro.
But these guys had to look, perception-wise, they had to look white in the way they come across, because it was an offense to be black, to look black, and as the society, they've had to fight through all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so this is why it's important to say, okay, how did they get through that struggle? Because there's unseen struggles that we are still facing to this day that we need to break through. Yeah. But the thing is, each time we fail is because we conform and we don't unite. We don't put certain bricks in place to get over the land, to get through no man's land. And now it's the time to get through no man's land. Now it's time for success. Now is the time to work together. But listen, guys, that's what I just preaching over and done with anyway. So yeah. But listen, LA Reid, Babyface, the power broker, and almost the tool, which is Babyface. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, these guys come together.
Well,
had
remember,
amazing.
I'm going to teach courses on it. Once I do the publication, we're going to do courses on it where we come in and talk, because the pattern still remains the same.
This is what
the pattern still remains the same. You practice your craft. You collaborate and link and network with the appropriate people, and you get into the studio, you get into the industry and become a student of it. I repeat, a student.
And this is how we do. Listen, guys, we're gonna close it. This is we're gonna close off the show. Thanks for the statos for this one, guys. And listen, watch part 3 that we doing. It's gonna be on YouTube and everything like that. So yeah, so guys, do check it out, and we're gonna be celebrating this. And do check out the links to Kevin's books. He's got new books coming out soon, and you can see that all in the description. Book 1, book 2, and book 3 is coming out from Kevin himself. And that the book, make sure I get the title of these books correct. And it's all about icon. It's icons. This icon of Memphis, icon of New Orleans. What's next, Kevin? Icon of
Muscle Show.
Right, read the book, because he's going to explain this in another show for me, because I'm going, where on earth is he going with this one? But anyway, but we'll get into that, guys. But listen, this is Roger and Kevin over now on Affinity Xtra. Nothing but love, people. Blessings.
Peace and love, bro. Peace and love.
Hey, this is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.